This video is designed to help you start a resort business. At the end of the video, you'll find a valuable gift. It's a resort business plan that you can download, and will lay down for you, step by step, everything you need to know to start a successful resort business of your own. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. The first step in establishing a resort would be to come up with a viable investment plan to guide your business strategy. Opening a resort is a substantial investment that requires a lot of funds. It might thus be prudent to apply for loans or secure alternative financing options. Setting it up requires a different approach than other real estate undertakings, due to the amount of financial resources involved, the time necessary to conclude the project, and the number of specialized facilities and construction techniques involved. The successful completion of a resort development project will require thorough planning and synchronization of various elements, like purchasing land in a prime location. To ensure that the resort will be profitable, or at least break even, analyzing and projecting the entire project's financial feasibility is of utmost importance. It will also be necessary to obtain the required permits, approvals, and licenses for your resort prior to, during, and after beginning construction. Consider buying rather than building. As an aspiring business owner, the decisions you make now will have huge implications later, including the decision to either start a business from scratch or buy an existing resort. In general, purchased resorts fare better than startups, at least during the initial few years. From a financial perspective, you'll receive more income sooner in a business purchase than you will in a startup. Consider franchising as an option. The odds of becoming a successful entrepreneur are greatly increased when you opt to franchise instead of doing it all on your own. You must also consider whether it will be run as its own unique brand, or as part of an acclaimed hotel operator's franchise. Choosing the location. Acquiring prime areas, which are considered major tourist attractions, is arguably the most difficult task in starting your resort. The majority of people prefer vacationing on sandy beaches, or where there's a backdrop of snow-capped mountain peaks. Ecotourists, on the other hand, like desolate wetland areas, or environments where endangered forests constitute a major part of the spectacular scenic beauty. A local realtor can be quite useful in scouting for, choosing, and purchasing or leasing land in a particular area. Evaluate your competitors. Before you consider starting a resort in a certain area, it's worthwhile to find out how you will fit in the competitive landscape. How tough is the competition in the market you are considering? If the competition is too tough, you may need to think about starting the business in a different area. The appearance of your resort. The overall appearance of your resort will be vital in attracting members of your target market. One can never believe they're in a veritable sanctuary away from the bustle of their everyday lives, if the resort they are staying in has a shabby and run-down appearance. Thus, the resort's entire design, from the entrances, interiors, exteriors, lobbies, fittings, must be incorporated in a way that will most dynamically make vacationers forget all their troubles, and just relax. An exotic or contemporary look is generally apt for beach resorts, while traditional or modern designs can work well with other resort varieties, like those used for skiing or equestrian activities. Your resort should be fully infused with various facilities that will enable any kind of activity a vacationer might wish to indulge in. For example, beach vacationers could greatly enjoy activities like surfing, snorkeling, or sailing, while those staying in a mountain resort could participate in skiing, rock climbing, and trekking. Guests staying at a resort demand and expect a 5-star vacation experience with no exceptions. Therefore, to avoid disappointing them and ruining their holiday, you should also equip your resort with convenient amenities, like wireless internet, cable or satellite television, reliable room service, as well as complimentary gift baskets, beverages, toiletries, etc. Ensure the rooms are large and airy, and that they come with accessible verandas for guests, to get a comprehensive view of all the scenic beauty surrounding them. If you want your resort to stand out, you need to consider adding even more features. For instance, you can add a water park for the adults and an amusement park for the kids. In addition, there can be a boutique shop comprising of resort wares. If the visitors find sun hats and designer clothing inside the resort itself, they will be amused by it. The design for the resort depends completely on the area you build it on. So, you have the chance to build the resort with an exotic design, inspired by beaches. On the other hand, you can also design the resort with modern features and skiing activities. Most importantly, an exotic resort consists of nightly entertainment. Every feature you add needs to make the customers feel satisfied, and also recommend to their peers and family members. So, Ultimately, your resort is going to be a spot for individuals to loosen up and enjoy the moment. Marketing and advertising. After you have built your resort, the next course of action will be to attract the right caliber of clients. You should have a website showcasing everything about your resort, as this can be accessed by anyone, anytime. The website should include everything from photos, rates, discounts, blogs, activities, facilities, updates, and anything else that can be used to highlight the resort's strong points. If possible, you can also have a section featuring frequently asked questions, FAQs, as well as booking advice. Your resort can be promoted by having its own social media presence on sites like Facebook or Twitter, and by having it reviewed on online tourist forums, like Condé Nast Traveler and TripAdvisor.com. The next part of the video is not specific to a resort business. Nevertheless, this knowledge is essential for success in the resort business, as well as in any other business. Ignore it at your own peril. Operating a successful resort business will depend on the following 4 conventions. 1. A practical plan, with a solid foundation. 2. Dedication, and willingness to sacrifice, to reach your goal. 3. Technical skills. 4. Basic knowledge of management, finance, record keeping and market analysis. As a new owner, you will need to master these skills and techniques if your business is to be successful. Finding a niche. Small businesses range in size from a manufacturer, with many employees, and millions of dollars in equipment, to the lone window washer, with a bucket and a sponge. Obviously, the knowledge and skills, required for these two extremes, are far apart, but for success they have one thing in common. Each has found a business niche, and is filling it. The most critical problems you will face, in your early planning, will be to find your niche, and determine the feasibility of your idea. Get into the right business at the right time, is very good advice, but following that advice may be difficult. Many entrepreneurs plunge into a business venture, so blinded by the dream, that they fail to thoroughly evaluate its potential. Is your business idea feasible? Before you invest time, effort, and money, the following exercise will help you separate sound ideas from those bearing a high potential for failure. Identify and briefly describe the business you plan to start. Identify the product or service you plan to sell. Answering yes to any of the following 3 questions means you are on the right track. A negative answer to all of them means the road ahead could be rough. 1. Does your product or service satisfy an unfilled need? 2. Will your product or service serve an existing market in which demand exceeds supply? 3. Will your product or service be competitive based on its quality, selection, price, or location? Market analysis. For a small business to be successful, the owner must know the market. To learn the market, you must analyze it, a process that takes time and effort. You don't have to be a trained statistician to analyze the marketplace, nor does the analysis have to be costly. Analyzing the market is a way to gather facts about potential customers, and to determine the demand for your product or service. The more information you gather, the greater your chances of capturing a segment of the market. Know the market before investing your time and money in any business venture. The following questions will help you collect the information necessary to analyze your market, and determine if your product or service will sell. This brief exercise will give you a good idea of the kind of market planning you need to do. An answer of no to any of the questions indicates a weakness in your plan, so do your research until you can answer each question with a yes. 1. Do you know who your customers will be? 2. Do you understand their needs and desires? 3. Do you know where they live? 4. Will you be offering the kind of products or services that they will buy? 5. Will your prices be competitive in quality and value? 6. Will your promotional program be effective? 7. Do you understand how your business compares with your competitors? 8. Will your business be conveniently located for the people you plan to serve? 9. Will there be adequate parking facilities for the people you plan to serve? Planning your startup. The following questions are grouped according to function. They are designed to help you prepare for opening day. Merchandise. Have you decided what items you will sell or produce, or what services you will provide? Have you made a merchandise plan, based upon estimated sales, to determine the amount of inventory you will need to control purchases? Have you found reliable suppliers, who will assist you in the startup? Have you compared the prices, quality, and credit terms of suppliers? Business records. Are you prepared to maintain complete records of sales, income and expenses, accounts payable, and receivables? Have you determined how to handle payroll records, tax reports, and payments? Do you know what financial reports should be prepared, and how to prepare them? Finances. A large number of small businesses fail each year. There are a number of reasons for these failures, but one of the main reasons is insufficient funds. Too many entrepreneurs try to start and operate a business without sufficient capital, money. To avoid this dilemma, you can review your situation by analyzing the following 3 questions. 1. How much money do you have? 2. How much money will you need to start your business? 3. How much money will you need to stay in business? In order to answer the second question, how much money will you need to start your business? You need to prepare an estimate of all your startup costs. Here is a list of items you may need to take into account. Note that this list is for a retail business. Items will vary for service, construction, manufacturing or online firms. Decorating and remodeling, fixtures and equipment, installing fixtures and equipment, services and supplies, beginning inventory cost, legal, professional fees, licenses and permits, telephone utility deposits, insurance, signs, advertising for opening, unanticipated expenses. Now, the answer to the third question, how much money will you need to stay in business? Must be divided into 2 parts, immediate costs, and future costs. From the moment the door to your new business opens, a certain amount of income may come in. However, this income should not be projected in your operating expenses. You will need enough money available to cover costs for at least the first 3 months of operation. The following list will help you project your operating expenses on a monthly basis. Typical expenses for 1 month may include your living costs, employee wages, rent, advertising, supplies, utilities, insurance, taxes, maintenance, delivery, transportation, miscellaneous. Now sum up the total estimated monthly expenses and multiply it by 3. This is the amount of cash you will need to cover operating expenses for 3 months. Deposit this amount in a savings account before opening your business. Use it only for those purposes listed in the above list, because this money will ensure that you will be able to continue in business during the crucial early stages. By adding the total startup costs to the total expenses for 3 months, you can learn what the estimated costs will be to start and operate your business for 3 months. By subtracting the totals of the lists from the cash available, you can determine the amount of additional financing you may need, if any. Now you will need to estimate your operating expenses for the first year after startup. The first step in determining your annual expenses is to estimate your sales volume, month by month. Next, determine the cost of sales. You may want to use a spreadsheet to do this. After startup, the primary source of revenue in your business will be from sales, but your sales will vary from month to month because of seasonal patterns and other factors. It is important to determine if your monthly sales will produce enough income to pay each month's bills. An estimated cash flow projection will show if the monthly cash balance is going to be subject to such factors as the following: failure to recognize seasonal trends, excessive cash taken from the business for living expenses, too rapid expansion, and slow collection of accounts if credit is extended to customers. Conclusion: if you have carefully answered all the questions in this video, you have seriously thought about your goal. However, there may be some things you may feel you need to know more about. Owning and running a resort business is a continuous learning process. Research your idea, and do as much as you can, yourself, but don't hesitate to seek help from people who can tell you what you need to know. As we conclude this video, it's time you get your free resort business plan gift. Go to the description below this video to get it now. It is completely free, no strings attached. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.